9 for 40 in the second half.
You just use your calculator for that.
Yes,
Yeah, I could tell.
I had to. What were you most pleased with about that comeback?
The defense,
Yeah.
I felt for 3 quarters, we played at an extremely high level. That second quarter obviously was the quarter we all like to forget. But in that second half, to your point, not only did we hold them to 40 points, but only 35% from the field and 33 from 3. The turnovers were an issue, obviously, but and then the fourth quarter defense. I told our guys in the huddle, our goal is to keep them under 20 points in the fourth quarter. That's where your defense has to be at its best. And we held them to 16 points. So, to come in here to open the season against a very good basketball team, tough place to play. Really, really proud of our guys. We responded after the half, after a very disappointing second quarter, and that's what you like to see.
Did you light into them at halftime?
No, that's game 1, man. There's no reason to. I thought our starters got us off to a great start.
Yeah.
Obviously went to the bench, and that bench unit, was okay. And when the starters came back in, they weren't great. So, no, I didn't lay into them. I mean, this is a long season. We just talked about the things that we have to get back to doing and understand why we had the lead in the first quarter. We defended the 3. They were only 2 for 10. They had 0 points off our turnovers. And then all of a sudden that second quarter, they scored 38 points. They hit 5 threes, 12 points off our turnovers. So that's just making them understand why we won, why we lost, and let's just be more consistent.
They can really get going, the Suns, with the dribble drive, the 3-pointers, the ball movement, and you really slowed that down a little bit in the second half. What's the key to kind of doing that and kind of getting them off their rhythm?
Well, it's definitely a challenge. That backcourt over there is tremendous with Chris Paul and Devin Booker. And that's where your defense starts. It starts on the ball. And if you're just constantly getting beat or blown by, then you're in your rotations, and that opens up the 3-point line. So it's just, putting the onus on the on-ball defender, and then in pick and rolls, making sure we're communicating and being at the level we're supposed to be. And when we're up and aggressive, we have to pull in. When we're down the floor, we have to start inching out to take away the 3. And I thought we had some pretty good examples of both of those tonight.
You mentioned mixing in Michael Porter with that second unit in that second half. Both Barton and Michael Porter Jr. spent some time. How did that help them offensively find some ways to score easier?
Yeah, it was. I just wanted to keep, the second quarter, Katie, as you know, we had 5 bench players in at once, and that just didn't go well tonight. We're not going to abandon that, after one game. But in that second half, I just felt it was important. Let me get Will Barton out early, and then get him back in with that second unit. Let me get Will out and put Michael in with that unit. And then with that unit, I thought Jeff Green was great tonight. That's what you love about having a stretch 5, if you will. They're matching up with JaVale McGee, and he's down the floor, and Jeff is able to knock down some shots. But you can feature Will, you can feature Michael in that second unit a little bit more. And, both of those guys stepped up. I mean, Michael Porter, 5 assists, made some great basketball plays. That was really fun to watch. Will Barton, 5 assists, no turnovers, hit a couple of clutch shots. So it was it's a hell of a way to start off the season. But it's one game, 81 left. We have to go home and find a way to protect our home court on Friday night.
Michael, with Nikola, did what he does, has a good night, and knowing that you are constantly trying to get all your guys better, just what's next for him this year? Because you're not going to let him just rest on that MVP. I mean, where are you going to take this season?
Yeah, I think, the challenges with Nikola are always, for me, they always start with the leadership. Early in his career, it was kind of growing up, maturing, handling adversity, handling the refs. And he's done that. He's really improved. And now it's okay, and he was doing it again tonight. In the huddles, man, we need to hear your voice. Whether you're in the game or you're not in the game, we need to hear your voice every huddle, in the practices, in the locker room. Because he has a tremendous impact and everybody respects his voice, and he knows what he's talking about too. I mean, he's not just saying crazy stuff. He's got a very high basketball IQ. So that's 1. And 2, really committing and owning, being the anchor of our defense. Is he Dikembe Mutombo? No, he's not. He's not going to be blocking shots. But I've seen guys win Defensive Player of the Year who are not athletic. Marc Gasol did it, and I think Nikola Jokic has the intelligence, the hand-eye coordination, and feel for the game where he can be the anchor of our defense. And if he does that and commits to that, Sam, I think that allows us to become 11th in defensive efficiency to maybe a top 5 defense. because that's the kind of impact he can have.
Michael, it's always fun to silence a road crowd, particularly in an environment where you guys struggled last year, obviously didn't get a win in the playoffs. What was the energy like on the bench, particular when Aaron Gordon had that block with 3:49
Yeah,
left?
it was, what you love about it is because when you start the season, this is not preseason anymore. You're not playing 15 guys. You cut your rotation down. Second half, I cut it down even further. But when you see guys that aren't in the game up and cheering, supporting their teammates, and just caring about getting the win, that's kind of the embodiment of the culture that we've tried to create and sustain. Being selfless. It's not about the individual. Check your ego at the door, get over yourself. It's about our group. And to see everybody up supporting guys on big plays like that block that Aaron had, or a big three at the end of a shot clock like Will, whatever it is, that is what team is all about. And obviously it's easy to do in a win, but we have to have that every single night. And hopefully that can be achieved.
You guys, Michael, you've had this sense in your culture and justifiably for a while now that folks are constantly overlooking, right? And I want to go into this year, you're facing a team like Phoenix who's in the finals, and everybody has the narrative of, well, no Jamal, there's a cap on what Denver can do.
Mhm.
Is that part of your kind of ethos and your personality still there as a group? It's just the idea that folks are still looking past you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something that we relish that. That seems to be the case. I mean, when's the last time an MVP wasn't playing on Christmas? I don't know. I mean, there's so many things that if you really, you can get consumed by that. So we don't get consumed by it. We don't sit there and find all the people. It's people are going to say what they say. They're going to treat us how they treat us. We can't control that. What we can control is to go out there and play our game. We're not going on the court to prove everybody wrong. We're going on the court to try to win. We have goals. We have high goals that we hope to achieve this year. We're not satisfied with the success we've had the last 3 years. And that's what drives us all. It's not to quiet anybody. What drives us is to try to win a championship. And whether that's this year, next year, or the year after, we don't know. But we're not waiting for Jamal Murray to get back. We can't. We love him. We're supporting him. We're going to do everything we can while he's out. But this train keeps going, and we need everybody on board, moving in the right direction. And tonight we had that, and we were able to pull out a great win.
Thank you, Coach. That'll do it.
All right.
Thank you.
Sorry.